Hey, welcome back everybody to Game 2 of Sparkyz versus Hwaseung Oz. This is Round 2 of the 9-10 Proleague season, Week 12 of Sparkyz cast, and here we are going to be having go.go for Sparkyz versus HiyA for Hwaseung Oz, and this is going to be go.go down... Wait, no. Okay, I've got this backwards on my sheet. I don't know how to write things down. Sorry, that was HiyA there in the yellow, as the yellow Terran up in the northwest. And this is going to be go.go here as the red Terran in the southeast. Yes, okay, so I have this just completely backwards on my notes. Alright, good to know. Anyways, go.go, we haven't seen him for a while. It's been since week 7 since he had had a game for Sparkyz, and in that he lost to Light. He has only played pretty quality opponents, really. So far this season, he's 2-2. But yeah, I mean, I think he could have been a help for the beginning, for the first 3 games of this round, if he had been there. Because despite him not having a huge record, he's just 2-2. But he's consistent like that. He generally will get about half of his games as wins, and we kind of needed that when we were just suffering at the beginning of this round. Anyway, some very early cheesy looking SCV coming out. Oh no, it's just checking maybe. I don't know, that was a little curious coming for HiyA there. No, it is going to be a proxy barracks, but that's not going to be enough for him to really do anything, so it's probably just going to sit out there and then be out there. Sorry, that is for go.go. I'm all backwards since my things are written wrong. I'm just going to modify this as I'm talking. So go.go, yes, quite more typically, is sending out a proxy barracks, but that is really not going to be doing too much damage, I doubt. I don't think he's going to go for a bunker rush or anything of that nature, although he is sending out a second SCV, but that might just be for scouting purposes. Let's see if he decides to plan anything. If he does, this could end the game very quickly. This game is on Fighting Spirit, by the way, which surprisingly has turned out to be a pretty even map, apart from Terran versus Zerg, in which Terran is reasonably favored in that. I would have expected that Terran would have been greatly favored in all of their matchups, but it's actually pretty even in Terran versus Protoss right now. The reason that I say that, of course, those wide bridges that we were just looking at right there, outside of the natural expansion, can be shelled by from siege tanks, and they can basically hit any troops that are massing in the middle of the in the natural expansion, as they try to gather up and break out of their base. So it's easy to contain people over that bridge, is what I'm trying to say. Anyways, go.go finally spotting out HiyA's base right here. I don't think he got his SCV all the way in. It looks like he doesn't, because that first Marine is already out. Going to be the same basic situation in go.go's base. I don't think he was going to let that SCV scout come in from HiyA, because he already has one Marine on his ramp, although that is all he has. He didn't wall off the same way that HiyA did here. Although it's not a perfect wall, he does have that Marine to deter anything. And a quick expansion coming up for HiyA, so he's going to be he's going 2 factories into expansion. I'm not sure exactly what go.go is going for quite yet, but hopefully if he goes for a couple of factories and tries to put on some early pressure, he might be able to deny that expansion for a little while. He is putting down his second factory. I'm sorry, for HiyA that was just 1 factory into an expansion, so even earlier than I was expecting. So but like I was saying, in Terran versus Terran on this map, the one problem that I really have with this map, I'm kind of upset actually that it's so even, because if it was really unbalanced, they would probably just take it out pretty quickly. But since it is pretty even, it's likely that they're going to keep it for a long time. But the reason that I don't like it is because in Terran versus Terrans, it's very easy to defend those natural expansions for the same reason that it's easy to contain them, by putting a couple siege tanks on the other side of the bridge, which generally means that, unless something incredibly cheesy happens, then the game ends up being a whole lot of tanks just outside of those bridges, and then people just trying to grab up expansions for a long time, and it draws out and out and out. And unfortunately, in this match, we're not going to have Lita to do something crazy like build 60 Wraiths to end the game after he's already, won the game in terms of expansions and resources. Anyways, that command center for HiyA is coming out and trying to land, and go.go is doing everything he can to stop it for a little while, but HiyA already has 2 tanks out, so he's not going to be able to do much to deny this. I think he was going to try to land his barracks for a little while, but maybe just forgot about it. Meanwhile, he is putting down his expansion, so it's going to be a little bit later, but not enough to really cause any permanent damage, I think. Double upgrades going down, likely siege mode, and at least one vulture upgrade, probably vulture speed, but maybe mines first, I'm not sure. So yeah, HiyA being able to put down his expansion pretty much without any interference, and he is set to push himself into the middle of this game, and I'm sure he's going to be well defended at his natural expansion because he already has 3 tanks there and a Goliath. He decided to go for an armory pretty quickly, going for Goliaths, which I like, especially, it's a smart move by HiyA, because when you're playing Sparkyz Terrans, Lita in particular, but also go.go, you've got to expect that they're going to try something a little bit crazy. So if you're expecting Wraiths to come out, you might as well make some Goliaths. They're pretty good against vultures too, so it's a pretty good investment. The first attack trying to come in for go.go, but he loses 2 vultures completely carelessly by those tanks that are sieged over that bridge. Nothing you can do about the bridge. The first spider mines are out, but it looks like a scan is already up for HiyA. Quick snipe there of one of the tanks for go.go, so a nice little play there. Gets 2 of the tanks. He's going to be able to kill off that last tank. Maybe it's already sieged. Yes, the 3rd tank goes down, so go.go being able to take out all of the tanks of HiyA. HiyA's in a little bit of trouble right now. He has 1 tank left to defend, but just 2 tanks left on go.go's side, so he's going to have to pull back. He was trying to sneak through his vultures once those tanks died off, but a couple of Goliaths in the background kind of held them in place, and he wasn't able to get those vultures all the way into the base to do some harassment. But pretty nice play, and I think with that win, by killing a couple of extra tanks, go.go has basically evened himself up back in the economy game. He's made up for the slight delay of his natural expansion just because HiyA went for such a quick expansion. So basically pretty even all around right now. HiyA and they're going for a little bit of different tech, I suppose. Go.go is focusing much more on vultures, and he has all of his both of his vulture upgrades right now. So he's planning mines all around the field. HiyA being locked in just a little bit because he decided to go for the armory and Goliath route. Both players, I think, are now building their 5th factories. Yeah, it looks like both players on 5 factories once they all finish building. So pretty even in terms of production. Production buildings right now as well. So once again, we're set up to have a very long TVT, and that is really weird. That SCV is just slowly strutting behind that barracks, trying to repair it as it's being floated away. That was a funny little SCV glitch. I don't know what that's about. I'm gonna see if he's gonna get it to do the same thing. Anyways, HiyA feeling like he has enough troops to slightly move out of his base. Same with go.go, as a matter of fact. And yeah, he's got that SCV following that barracks in that funny little manner. That's really funny. Okay, anyways, on to the actual game. So I feel like go.go might be in a little bit better position right now. He has the option of being in a little bit better position right now. It looks like he's actually putting down his 3rd base a little bit more quickly than HiyA is, so that could be a very big economic boon for him. But also, I think with more vultures on the field, it looks like HiyA's already made up for that in terms of vultures, but with more vultures in the field, he has more options to run in and do economic damage. And those earlier vultures has actually let him put down some spider mines that you know, as you see here, HiyA is having to scan and clear out before he can put down his third expansion. So just being able to control the map a little bit in that early game has really let him get a slight lead in his economy once this base is up. He's already moving some SCVs over into that base, so his economy is going to be slightly bolstered for just a minute, and it'll be interesting to see, because go.go is the type of player that he might decide he wants to try to press that advantage immediately rather than wait longer in the game. And it might be a good idea for him, because I think in general HiyA might be a little bit better of a player. Sort of big vulture engagement going down in the middle of the map, HiyA being able to surround most of go.go's vultures, so go.go taking pretty heavy losses in the vulture department, but nothing that can't be replaced pretty quickly. He is putting down his first starport and is almost definitely going to be building a bunch of dropships to go and do some economic harassment, because when you have a map like this where something about the terrain makes it so that you can't just walk into the opponent's base